Hey guys, welcome back to Extremely Annoyed. So you might know this or you might not, I don't know, that most of my videos are unscripted. Probably one or two are scripted, and I don't even remember if what they are, like what videos are they, like if I did script any type of videos. Maybe there isn't, I don't know. Point being is I'm usually winging it, and I'm, hit and a miss most of the time. Excuse me. A swing and a miss. Is that the right terminology? Anyway, the point here is this video is going to be a little different. And the reason why this video is different than the rest is because I'm actually planning on putting a little more detail to it, a little more information, some accuracy. Because this video is a serious one. This fucking bell. Okay, so here's the drive-through. The bell obviously rings whenever a car is driving through the drive-through, but there's nobody there. It's the ghost of Mr. Beast. Of Mr. Beast's past. Unfortunately, Mr. Beast is facing a lot of legislations, whatever the fuck. I'm still planning on making a detailed, informational, educational video. I can't even speak English. What the hell am I planning? There you go again, doubting yourself. That's what happens. You doubt yourself too much. How about you pucker your lips when you pronounce words so you can have some punctuation? You know, fuck's sake. I'm trying to make this video more in-depth. In-depth, we trust. Depth. Yes, you got it. That's it. I want to make this video more in-depth with information, detail regarding the argument for what actually happened during 9/11. Who is behind the attacks of 9/11? And you might be saying, well, we know what happened. It's the Muslims. The Muslims did it. You're wrong. Why would the Muslims do it? Who benefited the most from 9/11? I tell you right now, it's not the Muslims. They, in fact, suffered the most behind 9/11. Anyway, there's several conspiracy theories. One particular conspiracy theory that they try their best, and I'm saying they, you know who they are, social media. Social media, when you find videos regarding 9/11, there's a theory that Israel, in fact, had something major to do with what happened in 9/11. And videos like that are automatically censored or shadow banned or deleted entirely. Have you ever heard the reference to the dancing Jews? Yeah, you probably heard it a few times, right? The dancing Jews. You're probably thinking, oh, just dancing Jews. No, it's talking about a specific group of Jews dancing in celebration due to the 9/11 attacks during 9/11, 2001.
UTC strike was an attack. So surely these men are locked behind bars to this day, right? Surely they were transferred to Guantanamo and held without trial for 15 years as part of the war on terror, weren't they? No. They were immediately transferred to federal custody, held for 71 days, and then deported back to Israel. The owner of the urban moving systems company that had employed them, Dominic Suter, was investigated by the FBI too. They concluded that Urban Moving may have been providing cover for an Israeli intelligence operation, and even seized records and computer systems from the company's offices. When they went back to question him again on September 14th, he had fled back to Israel. And what about the dancing Israelis' pictures themselves? The Justice Department destroyed their copies on January 27, 2014. And these intelligence agents on an intelligence mission who were there to document the event of 9/11 before anyone knew 9/11 was taking place? Don't worry, they were just spying on Arab terrorists.
And while the FBI or certain sources might believe that, in fact, they were Israeli intelligence, they don't believe that the U.S. was a target, that they were actually investigating Muslim groups?
They believe if this was an intelligence operation by Israel, that it was focused on the Islamic groups and charities that raise money for groups that are considered by U.S. law enforcement and others terrorist groups. And you'll note that after September 11th, the U.S. moved on many of these groups with indictments, arrests, raids on their headquarters, something that hadn't happened prior to this.
These are groups that Israel believes have been funding Hamas and other terrorist organizations.
Groups that are responsible for most of the suicide bombings there.
But this story is not merely preposterous on its face. Even the implications of this story are themselves preposterous. If indeed the official story is a ridiculous lie, then are we to believe that these crack Israeli Mossad operatives, who were presumably aware of the attack that was about to take place, had been sent to photograph the burning tower from a parking lot across the Hudson River? And that these specially trained intelligence professionals on their super-secret mission were celebrating, high-fiving, and going out of their way to be noticed in performance of their task? This is equally preposterous. The only other possible conclusion is that these men were serving merely as a distraction, that they were not there to photograph for Israeli intelligence one of the most heavily photographed scenes in the world on that morning, but instead to be noticed and arrested as a way to divert attention from a much bigger and more sinister story.
So why would what is arguably our greatest ally, not even arguably, according to all our politicians, basically, they are in fact our greatest ally. And by the way, quick note, why do most of our politicians have dual citizenship with Israel? Do they pledge the allegiance to their flag as well? Interesting. Anyway, why would arguably our greatest ally attack the United States of America? I messed up again. Let me quick. In fact, our greatest ally, right? Yeah, according to our politicians and our presidents. In fact, our greatest ally. Why would they attack us at 9/11? Because it is a fact, again, let me just restate this, that those people on the roof were Mossad members, Israeli intelligence, taking pictures of the attack. They were there set up already before the attack to take pictures. And according to the FBI, it's because they were there surveilling people funding terrorists. On the fucking roof? Where? Where's these people? Nothing was said after that. No explanation, no investigation to these terrorist supporting funders, whatever the fuck, donors. No, nothing like that. These people are in fact Mossad, and they were in fact celebrating, according to the witness, who called the police because she saw 7 or how many were there? I think there's 7 or 5 of them on that roof, taking videos of the attack and celebrating, which is how we now know they were Mossad, because they were arrested and investigated and found out that they were Mossad, and then they were let go and went back to Israel, this terrorist state. So why would they do it? Well, here's why.
The Israeli newspaper Ma'ariv has reported Israel's former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has publicly said the September 11th attacks have been good for Israel. Netanyahu said, quote, "We're benefiting from one thing, and that is the attack on the Twin Towers and Pentagon and the American struggle in Iraq."
If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. And I think that people sitting right next door in Iran, young people, and many others will say, the time of such regimes, of such despots, is gone. There is a new age, something new is happening.
And that is speculation on your part, or you have some evidence to that effect?
I was asked the same question in 1986. I had written a book.
So that was it. It was to influence us to attack Iraq, which we did. And we didn't find no mass weapons of destruction or anything like that. We killed Saddam, and that's only because it would serve Netanyahu's interest. He was threatened by him. And we destabilized the region, and we ruined an entire country, And I guess, and here's the thing. Netanyahu said, if we attack Saddam and, destroy his regime, it would make less terrorists. It would diminish terrorism. But it did the opposite effect. It actually created ISIS. So I guess you could blame Netanyahu for ISIS as well. This wasn't the first time Israel attacked us to influence us to doing what he or it wanted us to do. They attacked us in 1955. They blew up one of our ships, a warship, a Navy ship, a USS Liberty. And the reason why they did that, matter of fact, they killed almost everyone except one. I believe there's only one survivor. I'm going to let him explain why they did that.
Who would you say America's best ally is?
Israel.
What would you say if I told you 57 years ago, Israel made war on the United States? USS Liberty, spy ship, sent to the Eastern Mediterranean in 1967, attacked by Israel with the intention of sinking the ship, killing every man aboard it, and blaming it on the Egyptians and getting us involved with the Middle East war. Our Congress has never done anything about it, never had an investigation into it, which is required by the U.S. Constitution. Kind of seems like when we get politicians elected, they do what they want to instead of paying attention to the Constitution. I would urge you to look up the USS Liberty on the internet and take a look, because our Congress did nothing 57 years ago. Israel realized they could do whatever they wanted to and get away with it. And as a result, they seem to be intent on committing genocide against the Palestinian people. 40,000 dead, mostly women and children, and the United States is supplying the bombs to kill us. Not a very pretty picture of America's history, but it's something you need to know. And thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
And now they're trying to make us believe that Iran is attempting to assassinate Donald Trump, our president-elect. Donald J. Trump. Fight, fight, fight. I doubt that. I doubt that a lot. They're not trying to assassinate Trump. At least Iran isn't. Because here's why it doesn't make sense. I'm going to tell you right. Apparently, according to the news, that Iran is still angry at Donald Trump for killing one of their generals. Well, they probably are. They probably are angry at Donald Trump for killing one of their generals. But why try to assassinate Donald Trump during elections? We has more security than ever, possibly, especially after the 3 failed attempts against his life. I mean, probably, he definitely has more security this time. He probably quadrupled his security after those failed assassination attempts. So why the sophisticated country would try to attack or assassinate Donald Trump now? Oh, this same country that's at war with Israel? Isn't it more likely that Israel is trying again, like they did before, to draw America into another war in support with the bloodthirsty, behavior, these terrorist state, to attack Iran? Wouldn't that be a more likely scenario to what's really going on? And I believe it is. If you still to right now have any doubts on Israel being our greatest enemy, more likely than our actual ally, then you're dumb. Israel, by every definition, is a terrorist state. And Israel had never once had any intentions for peace in the Middle East. Considering the fact, and I said this before in other videos, and I'll repeat it again now, they have committed broken humanitarian laws, international laws, and continue to build illegal settlements. Yet they claim to want peace, but they still build illegal settlements. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think? What's really going on? I think everything I just said is clearly what's going on. I hope the very best for our president, Donald Trump. I'm a huge supporter of Donald Trump, though I don't vote myself because I don't believe in voting. I don't think it's a real thing here in America. I believe Biden won because they wanted him to win. I do actually believe the 2020 elections were in fact rigged. Otherwise, why didn't the same people who elected Biden elect Kamala? It just doesn't make sense. So, if he got 80 million votes in 2020, what happened to those 80 million votes now for Kamala? Anyway, Donald Trump, I have nothing but faith in you. I know you're smart enough. You're against the establishment. I believe you know exactly what's going on. And you might be convinced that Israel is our ally because you have publicly shown your support to Israel. But I hope by now, if by any chance, and I doubt that there'd be any chance, but I hope someone around you would actually tell you the truth about Israel and at least about the USS Liberty and about the Mossad members during 9/11 and what they did. Any information that may persuade you to really look into it and find out the actual truth, which is, again, like I said, Israel are our actually biggest enemy and not our biggest ally. Peace.